Forget about everybody.
We do a little bit over $30 million in sales.
But it's all a mindset. You live in your own world. Don't try to impress anybody. What is up, guys? Welcome to Focus. My name is Luis Perez, and we have Jacob Rodriguez. Damn.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm like sleep deprived. I'm so sorry about that. But I hope everyone is staying focused. Welcome to episode number 7.
Yes, sir.
I feel like I'm going to get tired of saying the episodes.
We're going to forget the episodes.
Yeah, eventually it's going to be like, we're just going to continue on.
Yeah.
But
7 weeks in a row, 7 weeks strong.
7 weeks?
Yeah, we've been doing 7 weeks in a row.
Damn. Yo, that's, wow. Bro, time flies by so quick.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, 8 weeks, actually. 8 weeks because we're always a week behind on the episodes. So we recorded the first one 8 weeks ago.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. We're ahead.
We're ahead, yeah.
Yeah, we're okay. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be speaking about a topic that we kind of left off on the last podcast, which is branding and monetization, which is a very fun topic because when anything related to money is my type of topic.
Yeah. I mean, branding and business-wise, I mean, when you say monetization, I directly think money, you know? That's the first thing that comes to mind. While when you say brand, I think of culture and money as well. I think the culture that you have inside your business or inside your personal, visual aspect directly influences the culture that you have.
I like that.
So if you directly say your fitness page, your fitness page's culture was fitness influencers. You know, everybody who's in the gym, everybody who's motivated inside the gym, anybody who wants to get into the gym. Those are that's the direct people that you're going to try to contact. You know, that's the audience you're going to engage with the most. While compared to the business aspect with with the restaurant, my business, I try to cater to everybody. More family oriented, definitely, but being family oriented, also catering to the younger crowd, catering to the older crowd, catering to a little bit of everybody.
Different cultures, different niches. So branding.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you want to talk about first? Branding or monetization? Because this could go on for a little bit.
This definitely will be like a 40-minute long podcast, just getting FYI. So if you're, I recommend listening to this while you're in the gym or while you're reading a book.
Hell yeah.
Or while you're driving in the car to a meeting or to work. It's probably the best thing to listen to this. But I honestly would like to talk more about branding.
Branding? Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's dive in.
Yeah, so I think Puerto Vallarta as a whole, has been a company that's been changing over time. It's a company that's been alive for, a little bit over 30 years now. Started in 1991. We are now in 2024. So that's 33 years.
Yeah. Wow.
33 years, almost 34.
Yeah.
And so, our culture has changed quite a lot and our brand has changed quite a lot since the first day that we opened compared to nowadays. I mean, 1991 was way before I was born. I wasn't born until over 10 years after that.
Wow.
So, it's before my days. And
it was in the works.
The whole world was a whole different world back in the day.
Yeah.
People were in the era where it's easy to open a business. You could open a business with $50,000. No issues, you didn't have to worry about all the high prices back in the day, and it was super easy to open up your own business. Nowadays, to open up your own business, you'll have to spend a couple $1 million. You have to have investors. You have to think about the insurance. You have to think about payroll. You have to think about everything correctly. And I mean that would happen before in the past as well, but now it's to a different level that it's the standard in the industry.
I like that you mentioned that because it was easier in the past.
Yeah.
And it's because it was a lot less competitive. Mm-hmm. Now, since a lot of people are more exposed to social media, everybody knows what works. Well, they kind of have a hint of what's working, and they're diving in. We got the sharks diving in, and it's not making it saturated. It's making it a little bit competitive. It only means you have to work a little bit harder, a little bit smarter. Yeah. Because I could say the same thing about social media, YouTube. If we would have started this podcast around 1990, all right, we're doing hypotheticals right now, we would probably get like 4 times the views that we're getting now.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, you can't make any excuse because the sooner you start, the better, As long as you get started, you're the better.
It's just an example of
it's an example
how things have been progressing
Exactly.
up until now.
The whole industry has changed as a whole. And
Yeah.
so when it comes to branding, I think the businesses that strive the most in this industry when it comes to the restaurant industries are the ones with the strongest brands. For example, Chipotle. Chipotle has been is a company that does billions of dollars in sales every single year. They have a franchisees, and a super organized company, but they're known for their fresh ingredients. And the people they attract are people that go to the gym, people that are active in their days. They promote it as a healthy meal that you're having inside
Did you just
the
say
meal.
Chipotle has fresh
Chipotle.
ingredients?
No, but they promote themselves that way.
Yeah.
And so for a long time, before when it first was blowing up, I thought, Chipotle, they really have all these fresh ingredients. They present themselves as that type of company that gives off the fresh ingredients and really, you're having a healthy meal at the end of the day. And so they wanted to be represented that way, and they
Gotcha.
represented themselves that
Okay.
way. So their brand was, everybody who went to the gym at that time when Chipotle was blowing up. He's like, dude, I'm gonna go to Chipotle after
That was me.
after the gym. Everybody
was
would
me.
do that. Everybody would do that. And so it was the norm in the gym industry. Let's go get some chicken and rice after and eat that and be
Bro,
healthy.
they're super smart because they were opening locations around
Next to gyms.
Yeah,
Next to
literally
gyms,
right
yeah.
next.
And they were smart about it. They're super smart about it. I go to the Edge, so it's a big corporate gym here in Eastern America, and every single Edge I see, there's a Chipotle like a block away. Make that make sense. They plan exactly where they're gonna
Yeah.
where they're gonna put their location. They plan a demographic, and so the demographic is people who try to be healthy, people that try to take care of themselves, and so they'll go get Chipotle. And so same thing with our restaurant. We have transitioned from the phase of being just tacos and burritos and enchiladas and what they say as more authentic food to now serving tomahawks, dry-aged ribeyes, lobster tails inside the business and selling bottles of wine, which has completely changed over the years. But it's really the brand and the image that we want to have. We don't want to be known as a spot that's just sells tacos and enchiladas. We want to be known as a spot where you come, dress up, celebrate your birthday, celebrate your first communion, celebrate a baptism, or even a wedding here at inside a restaurant, and really enjoy have a great experience.
Hell yeah, yeah.
Dining in. And so
sure.
that's become part of our brand. That has become part of our culture.
Yep.
You have seen it, Luis. You've been working for us for about
yeah.
2.5 years. I don't know,
Yep.
3 years. And you've seen the evolution inside the company. Before, it was a lot of people, happy hour. I want a cheap margarita. I want tacos. Now it's people who really sit down, come with their family, drink high-quality tequilas,
Yep.
high-quality wines, and then enjoy a high-quality meal. And so our company has become known as high quality. Sure, people will be like, oh, you guys can't do that. You guys are way too expensive compared to now. But they want you to keep serving, $5 infinite tacos. And in this economy, you can't do that. You have to really see what your niche is.
And nobody's doing that.
And the way you
It's
wanna
not-
present yourself.
It's not just you guys. Everybody around has gone
I mean,
up.
there are places that
Yeah.
do it, but I mean, I bet you they're not serving you any quality whatsoever. They're probably giving you
So they're
dog
going
meat
for like
inside that.
their brand is like the niche is different. Like they're going for like party style, boom, boom, boom,
Yeah.
get it out of here, drinks.
Happy hour,
okay.
happy hour type stuff. So
Gotcha.
there are restaurants that do infinite tacos. They'll charge you $25, $30, but I promise you're gonna get sick the next day if you eat like 8 tacos. And so the thing is like
You could be in the bathroom all
you're
day.
gonna be in the bathroom all day because they don't serve you high quality items. And so
Yeah.
it's like we're serving USDA prime steaks, we're serving prime skirt steak, we're serving upper choice ground beef, all these high quality items. We're gonna eventually start selling Wagyu inside the restaurant as well.
Ooh, really? That's an idea.
Yeah, so
I haven't had real Wagyu.
Oh, you have to try. I mean, I'm not gonna be serving A5 Wagyu, but I'm gonna be serving, some Japanese Wagyu
Okay.
and skirt steak. That's the idea for the future. But
That's awesome.
our brand has, evolutionized over time, and the whole conception of the company has changed, and that's kind of come from like the leadership perspective in my eyes. Since I started leading the company, I kind of seen that what we were doing was just kind of overplayed, and everybody else was doing it. And so, as a family, we decided, we have to change. What do we do to stand out? So we started training our staff to really give out high quality service to every single one of our guests, really connect with our guests, and not just be someone who takes an order and really doesn't try to connect with anybody. We're somebody who wants to, we're a company that wants to connect with everybody. We want to know your
Of course,
name.
yeah.
We want to know your family. We want to know where you're from. We want to know what you do for work. We want to know every single little thing to connect with you, because at the end of the day, I think that's what makes a great experience inside the restaurant is
does.
the connection that you have with your guests.
Every little detail matters, and you could see it. Like a lot of people come into the restaurant, have that experience, and then it's an experience that is alien to them, and it starts to get in their head like, wow, this was awesome. Then they're gonna want to come back more, and then you got regulars, and then they're coming all the time.
Yeah, and I mean, we held a managers meeting this morning. Luis was his first manager meeting there, and and so I think it was great for him to hear. He's like, okay, we have this platform called Zendesk. Zendesk tells you how many reviews are coming in and everything like that. And so, 99% of our reviews mentioned high quality service. That
Oh yeah,
says something.
yeah.
Because
There's a lot
most
of them, too.
reviews that you'll get from if you check out any single restaurant, will be like, the price is too high, or people will be like, oh, they'll only leave a negative review. But you want to push people to, leave a positive review for you. And if they really have a great experience, they will leave a positive review for you. So we have transitioned to, that high quality service, high quality meals, and overall that great experience inside the restaurant. And so, that's been something that's kind of evolutionized us as a company. And that's our brand now. Our brand is high quality service, high quality food, and, high quality experience.
It's the type of restaurant you want to take a girl on a date. Like, perfect restaurant.
Or even, your family's in town.
Yeah,
What do
family.
you want to do? You want to
sophisticated. You
come out to a nice place, come and celebrate being together. Or even if you have a birthday, you bring them over here and have a great time with a birthday. And so we're right in between. We're not like a steakhouse, so we're not serving prices like a steakhouse where you're automatically for two people you're going to spend $400-$500. Here we have very economical menu. We have a lot of variety. We have a great extensive menu. And so we have so much variety. So you could come here with your family, spend $100, or you could come here with your family and spend $1,000. So I think that's a great thing for us as a brand, because it opens up how many people can come visit us.
Yeah.
Because you won't get people that, who are lower income to go into a steakhouse because they cannot afford it. While as Puerto Vallarta as a whole, our restaurant has so much variety, and you could spend $100 or $1,000 that you get everybody.
I
You
never
get
seen it
people
like that.
with
That's smart. Yeah.
You get people who could spend a lot of money, like high quality,
Yeah.
or you get people that just kind of want to have a quick meal with their family and not spend, not have to take a loan out from the bank. So
Or even both. You have a family who wants to spend some money this week, and the next week they still want to have a good time, and they can still have good time with
And ever since we started focusing on service, the amount of loyal guests that we have every single week is astronomical. It's crazy because people are like, okay, this place is really consistent in the matter of giving us great high quality service and a high quality meal, and they really worry if I liked my meal, if I didn't like my meal, they'll let me switch it out for something else, and I won't get charged for that past meal. So it's like people really enjoy that. They really appreciate it, and so that's what gets us such a loyal clientele inside us. And so at the end of the day, you want someone to follow your brand, and they want to follow you as a whole as a company. And so that's the kind of the steps that we've taken to get there. As a brand.
when I think of brand, for example, like today, that manager meeting. By the way, I'm not a manager. I want to clarify that. But that opened up my mind, right? When I hear branding, I think of automatically teamwork, right? Because in order to even get all this together, you need a strong team. And now that I'm looking at behind the scenes of Puerto Vallarta, like I told you earlier, I see everything with a different perspective.
Yeah.
And the amount of work that goes behind and these strategies and the way that you guys plan, like use everybody's minds to come up with different strategies is, wow, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And it's the reason you guys are just progressing, and then you guys are just gonna keep progressing, which is awesome.
I mean, that's the goal at the end of the day. I think 2 minds are better than one. I think 5 minds are even better, more than one.
The
And
more
so
the better, yeah.
I personally, as a company, I'm very young. I'm in this leadership role, and I'm not going to pretend like I know it all. And that's the stupidest thing you could do is pretend that you know it all. So what do I do? I like to hear from everybody. I like to hear from everybody's perspective. And so per se today we were, saying what type of things do you look in a qualified employee to put them in this specific spot position. And so I got a piece from every single person. And, at the end of it, I got 23, 24 reasons or 24 things that you should look at before you hire somebody for the specific location. And so, or even how to train them. And so with that, you create some type of system. So it's like, okay, today's my first day as a chef. What do I have to do on my first step? What is step 1 and what is step 1,000? Okay, step 1 is, you say hi to everybody, you learn everybody's name, you learn what the recipes are, you learn what the portioning is. And then from there, you transition to, more abstract things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if
a lot of deep stuff within the business that, this is more new to me but I'm getting there. Like I'm understanding, and I kept pretty quick, but it's a lot of new information, and I'm learning every single day that I'm with you guys. I learn a lot.
I mean, it's I love that you saw it specifically because you did bartend with us, so it's kind of seeing it from an employee standpoint to a management standpoint, and it's you don't. Employees don't really see all the work that goes in behind closed doors.
No.
And they don't know, the things that we plan out, the things we think of, the things that we study to really improve the company. And so today I was talking about labor percentages. And so our labor could be high someday. So I'm like, these are the steps that we're going to be taking to optimize labor and, lower our labor costs. In that way, we could, increase wages, or we could hire higher quality employees, people with more experience for specific locations. And so, it's great for you to hear that because, as a bartender, you don't think about any of that stuff. You don't think about labor percentages. You don't think about SPLH,
I don't have to.
Sales per labor hour. You don't think about any of that. And so we do because, or specifically I do because I have to, I have to pay rent. I have to pay food. I have to pay labor. I have to pay insurance. I have to pay all these millions of things. I have to see how I optimize the business to be able to grow and expand the way that I really truly want to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What else do we want to get into when?
I would love to get into monetization now. I mean,
you ready for monetization?
I think branding was super interesting because everybody has a different branding.
Yeah.
And so I think we could talk a little bit about this, is that you should never copy someone's brand. You just copy specific things from someone's brand, but never copy their whole brand as a whole because it just never works.
This is what kind of started this podcast.
Yeah, it started this podcast. And so, we got it from Luis's comment last episode.
Well, this episode, monetizing and branding, not the podcast in general.
Last episode podcast.
Yeah, the
last episode on podcast, episode number 6. Yep. I think it was great because, branding specifically, you have to make it unique. People like unique branding per se. Starbucks, I don't know if you remember Starbucks, 10, 15 years ago. The thing that made Starbucks huge was that Starbucks, whenever they took your order, they took your name. And so they would write your name on the cup. That's what made Starbucks huge because no one ever did that before. They'd be like, oh, I have an ice cold latte, blah, blah, blah. But they would never say, I have an ice cold latte for Jacob. And so on your cup, you take a picture. It's like, oh, the Starbucks logo, and then you see your name. And so you take a picture of Jacob, or they'll even add a heart there, or they'll add, have a great day. And so that's what made Starbucks really blow up because everybody fell in love with that aspect of, writing down the name on the cup, really connecting with our guests. Yeah. And I know they've kind of gone away from that. Now they add stickers with their name so they don't mess it up and stuff like that. But the connection with the guest is really what they appreciate. And so,
the little details.
The little details. Yeah. And so that's what made Starbucks unique. There's things like customer service that make Chick-fil-A unique. They're very well known for saying my pleasure. So anything that you say, you're like, oh, thank you. It's like my pleasure, my pleasure, my pleasure. That's become the culture at Chick-fil-A. That made them unique because no one in the fast food industry was doing that. So they started doing it. And I mean, Chick-fil-A is probably one of the most profitable companies inside the whole world in the restaurant, in the food industry. And so, that's what makes them unique. And so you have to find what makes you unique. And so what makes us unique here at Puerto Vallarta is the true experience that you'll have with the high quality service and the high quality meal.
Yeah, you'll feel like you're at home. Like if you're Hispanic, narrowing it down because I'm Hispanic.
Yeah.
you come home to a nice cooked meal from your parents, Hispanic food, and everyone's just so happy. And this is how it feels when you come in here. It feels like a family. It feels like good vibes, and you just want to keep coming back, bro. For if you're watching this and you work with me, you already know I don't just work here. I live here. I'm always here, bro. Your dad it caught me one day. He was like, "Louis, you're always here. This restaurant must be your favorite place to be in." But I'm always in the restaurant. I come out of bartending. My gym is right next door. I go back.
And
Sitting
then he goes
down,
to the gym,
talk.
and then he comes back to the
I'm
bar.
always at the
He's at
restaurant.
the bar.
Dude,
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love everybody in the restaurant. Like I'm really good friends, and it's a good vibe.
And so that also comes into the culture of the company. You know, our culture is we want everybody to get along. We want everybody to be
Yeah.
respectful. We want everybody to know everybody's name. Because, you know, in big companies, they kind of forget about that. They forget about, you know, the family part. They forget about, you know, making everybody feel whole.
Yeah.
And I feel like the reason that we have so many employees that have worked so long with us is because, you know, we know everybody's name. We connect with everybody. And that's what kind of differentiates us between, you know, the bigger brands. Because, you know, you think a manager at Chipotle cares about your name. They don't care about your name. They don't care about you. They care about the money. They care about the money sign. But we care about connecting with everybody. And so I pride myself a lot by trying to know everybody's name. And it may take me, I might get your name wrong 2 or 3 times, but I'll eventually get your name and then I'll learn your name. And then, you know, I could, every single time I come in, I say hello and I say your name. You know, I like to be someone that, you know, that's approachable
Yeah.
for my staff.
Dude, you just gave me PTSD.
What?
5 years ago, I used to work for a factory, and I feel like a lot of people would if you're
Relate to
watching
that,
this,
yeah.
they might relate to this. And one thing that I noticed, and even as I was working, I knew that if they did things differently, it would motivate me to work more. I worked there for 4 years,
Wow. Long
and
time.
I was a hard ass worker, bro.
Yeah.
Like I was a hard ass worker. I worked there from Monday through Saturday.
Yeah.
I didn't even have to work Saturday. And if I could work Sunday, I'll work Sunday.
Yeah.
I never got you're doing a good job, or I never got anything. Like you could work super, super hard, never got a good job, never got a smile. Everybody looked depressed. Bro, the place was like walking zombies. And when you work in an environment like that, it's terrible, bro. It's super bad. And I lived through the opposite. And I always knew, man, if only I walked in here and a boss just said, Louis, you did good today.
No.
Bro, you know the amount of work I was probably gonna do twice the amount of
Yeah.
work that I was doing for that day.
Yeah.
But never, all those little details were lacking, and it could have changed the whole company.
People want to feel appreciated. People want to feel like they fit in. And I
Yeah.
think that's a great way from a leadership perspective of how to do it. You have to make everybody feel appreciated. You know, if you can't appreciate somebody, they shouldn't be working there. And as a leader, you should really appreciate what every single person does, because everybody has problems. Everybody has issues at home, but they decide to be supporting you.
Yeah.
And so you have to support them and, you know, support them as much as you can.
But bro, they don't give a fuck about that.
No,
Big companies like that, when they're making money,
Yeah.
and they don't really look at their smaller employees, like the people who are actually like running their stuff. They don't care. They know that you quit, what, you're replaceable.
yeah.
What's gonna happen? They'll find somebody else, or
I mean, you have to find the balance as well. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody, you want to love everybody, but at the end of the day,
Mm-hmm.
you can't really become too emotionally attached to somebody just in case you have to let someone go.
no, yeah.
And so, you know, in the standpoint is like, you know,
I'm looking at it through like an employee perspective,
Yeah.
because I lived through it.
yeah. And so I think it's great what you're saying. Companies kind of lose that when they start growing. They lose that
Dude.
connection with the employees. They, you know, with the staff. You know, some owners stop showing up to their restaurants over time, and you know,
The CEOs, bro. We never said this. We never saw a
you
CEO.
never see the CEOs.
Nah,
And you know,
never
I
seen a
love
CEO.
I love to show up to every single restaurant. I love to show my face. I love to, you know, connect with everyone, because everybody is so unique. You can learn something from everyone, and so I think that's a great thing to take advantage of.
Hell yeah. So if you have a business, treat everybody nice. Like those little, if that company that I was working for did all these little extra details that you're doing,
You'll still be there.
not just that, but if they make hella money, just imagine how much more money they could make.
Yeah.
They could triple their profits because everyone's just like they want to work. They're happy.
Yeah.
They're putting in more work. They're making more product for them, and everybody wins.
I think that the culture is super important, and
No, absolutely, yeah.
that's honestly a company without culture is not a company, because at the end of the day, you have to have culture. What
Yeah.
makes you different? If it's not with your staff, it's with your guests. It's who you connect with, and it comes as a whole, and it comes from the top. It comes from the head. The owner of the business needs to be someone who connects well with staff, treats everyone with respect, and is educated. I was talking about that earlier in the manager meeting. We want every person that is in a leadership position to be the one who's most educated, the one who speaks to every single position.
Yeah.
Because some positions are frowned upon. Per se dishwasher, but dishwashing is one of the hardest jobs on your body, one of the hardest jobs to have, and they sometimes managers look over them, and they should never be looked over because they are some of the hardest working people.
Dude,
that I
I
know.
completely agree. I have massive respect for dishwashers. Bro, that's a tough job, and they kill it, bro.
And their work isn't appreciated enough, and it really a restaurant without a dishwasher is not a restaurant, and so you would never be able to survive without a dishwasher.
Yeah.
And you could have all the machines in the world, but you need somebody to lead that position.
Yep.
And I think you want to make sure if they're working hard, ask them, can I get you something to eat? Can I get you something to drink while you're waiting? And while you're working hard, not while you're waiting, while you're working hard, and kind of that culture of everybody is part of a team. We love everybody, and so something that we implemented inside the company a couple months ago was Employee of the Month. So every single month we would put Employee of the Month. So we put Salesperson of the Month and Employee of the Month. Server or bartender who sold the most in the company that month, and then or in the restaurant that month. And then Employee of the Month. The overall, the person who worked best with us as a team, has the leadership role, and had good teamwork.
Yeah. And you know what? You shouldn't just apply this in your job, like the culture. You should apply this with everything in your life, because remember that like we were talking about manifestation and everything. Things are going to be hard regardless, but always keep a positive viewpoint on everything. Look for a positive in every single negative, and you still got to do it. Like years ago when I used to work for that factory, I still had to go to work, even though I knew people didn't give me that, oh hey, good job. I still went in there like, oh, I'm motivated. I started my fitness page like, oh, I'm here, but this is gonna build me. I'm gonna appreciate when I get to where I want to be. I'm gonna appreciate that more. Always look at it with a different mindset, especially with the people around you. You always want to treat people good. You don't have to be in a working environment to treat people good. Always treat people good. Like we talking about, open the doors for people.
Yeah.
Do the little things. Every time I see,
Helping them out.
Yeah, every time I see somebody in the street that needs help, like, bro, I've been going to the gym super early. I go to the gym at 5 in the morning. People knocking on my window. Bro, this caught me off guard this morning. Knocking on my window. It was a guy. Like,
Someone knocked on your window?
It was a homeless guy.
Oh.
And I felt bad. Dude, I almost drove off. And I stopped myself because I made a promise to myself a couple days ago. I'm like, whenever I see a homeless guy, I have to help him. Dude, it gets deeper than that, because I was in my room and I opened the Bible and I asked God to show me a message, like speak through me. Because I always hear people saying like, oh, God speaks through me.
Yeah.
But I never experienced that. But I'm like, let me open the Bible and speak through me through a message. And I opened it, and it was something about the homeless.
Yeah.
Treat the homeless like you would treat yourself.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, when I was growing up, that was kind of the golden rule in my elementary school. I remember it's, treat everybody the way you want to be treated.
Yeah.
And that was a golden rule. And honestly, I live by that rule every single day, because you want to make sure everybody feels valued. You want to have that respect with everybody.
Yeah.
You want to be educated with everyone, and really have that respect with everyone.
even if they're being a dick,
Yeah.
like even if they're having a bad day, like
Yeah.
they went through something. It's okay. Like we'll try again next time. Or just like, dude, before I went in here, I bought a monster. There's a monster over there. Dude, a lady was
Super
looked
rude.
pissed. She
Yeah.
looked pissed. She was helping this client. One of the customers was like pissing her off, and then I was like, "Oh, are you gonna?" Because I want to pay for this. She's like, She gave me the meanest look ever. I'm like, oh no, don't worry, take your time, bro. She immediately switched. Like her head was like,
Yeah.
bro. She treated me so nice after that. Like I immediately just switched her over, just being a little bit nice. Yeah,
Yeah. You never know what everybody's going through and
yeah.
stuff like that. But you know, as a leader, as someone who owns a restaurant, you really have to be careful of people also taking advantage of you. So I'm gonna get a little bit into this because I had a situation that happened today. Um, I have this great person that worked in the bar, and she was really great with the guests. She was really great with connecting with everyone. She was good with her team, but she was super inconsistent. So she wouldn't show up on time. She would call out every single week. It's not someone that's consistent.
Mm.
And so at the end of the day, you have to see, what should I do? Should I keep having this consistency, worry every single day if this person's gonna show up or if they're not gonna show up? Or should I just find someone else? And so, at the end of the day, we gave this person a warning, and then she sent us a long message saying, like, you should really think about your staff. You should really think about the team and stuff like that. And I do think about that. And so having the consistency helps the whole staff as a whole and helps the whole culture here, because I sure everybody maybe someone has a different job, someone has some different things in their life, but at the end of the day, you have to have that culture in the company is like you have to show up for work. You have to
But that's like a
respect
responsibility.
you have to respect your
You
schedule.
gotta be responsible.
You have to respect your schedule. You have to be responsible.
Yeah.
And so they'll try to manipulate you and make you feel bad for say giving them a warning for showing up late. But at the end of the day, that has to be your culture. Culture has to be you have to show up on time. You have to be in full uniform. You have to be ready to work. And if someone who's not willing to get into that culture and come into that culture, it's better to get rid of someone and then get somebody new.
Bro, you just said something that really touched me. She had a lot of talent, but her inconsistency was trash. This is how I see life. In life, there are losers and there are winners. And it doesn't matter how talented you are. And in fact, I say everybody's talented. But someone that is super consistent will always beat someone who is super talented.
Yeah.
Consistency beats talent.
I love that. I love that. And I think I 100% agree with that. Consistency in the gym. Somebody might have great genetics and they might be big, but if you keep working hard, for 5-6 years, you'll probably end up being bigger than that person who is automatically great genetics.
Yeah.
And so, that comes in the same thing with work.
Yeah. Bro, I applied this strategy with my fitness page.
Yeah.
I knew a lot of people who I know you should never compare anybody to you. You should always
People that look better than you, bigger than you, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a you versus you game. Forget everybody else. But at the time, my mindset wasn't like I have it right now. I saw people doing things better than I was doing, and they were getting to places that I wanted to get. And
in a short period of time and stuff like that, but they weren't consistent.
oh, okay. So they were really, yes. They always lacked. So every week, I always try to look for their flaws. I'm like, these people are talented. They got gifts, okay, but they got to be lacking somewhere. They're sleeping somewhere. I might not have the talent, but I have something that they don't. It's consistency, bro. When I want to work for something, I'm gonna get it. I don't care who you are, and I'll be super quiet about it. You'll never know. We could talk about, oh, Louis, I want to get here. And I'm like, oh, then that's where I want to get. But I'm not going to tell you about it. I'm going to get there first.
Yeah.
But
I'm
dude,
going to do the work in the background to get there. And so I love that, man. I think, like Luis says, consistency is always going to be talent at the end of the day. And, where I'm at today, I'm very grateful for where I'm at. I'm grateful for all the decisions that I've taken in my life. But, I would never be in this position if I didn't work those countless hours, those 80-hour weeks consistently. And I still work them 70-80-hour weeks. That's normal for me. But, I wouldn't be in this position myself if I didn't have that consistency with me. And you're like, oh, I don't want to show up to work today. Oh, I don't want to wake up early. Oh, I don't want to go to sleep late.
Discipline,
I would never be in this position where I am in today if I didn't have that consistency. And, be like, do it for yourself. Show up. It's going to pay off eventually. And eventually did pay off.
You don't need talent. You need consistency.
Yes, sir.
And I think I mentioned this in the meeting today about the videos. And I like to. I saw this the other day, and dude, I'm just saying it everywhere now. Every single video for those of you who want to be successful on social media, want to do something with their platforms, post every day. Look at every single video like a lottery ticket. You never know which one is gonna hit, and once it hits, bro, it'll change the game. That's how it worked for me for my fitness page. I posted for a whole year without getting that under 1,000 views.
Yeah.
And then I did one video at a gym. It blew my account. That video got 5 million views. From there on,
Easy. Yeah.
skyrocketed. Like all that work that you're doing right now,
Gonna pay
look
off.
at it like what's it called when you the paper you show jobs when you first apply. Come on,
An application. What do
the
you mean? A resume?
resume, yeah.
Resume?
Look at all the work that you have as a resume because you're not doing it for nothing. You're gonna go to the top and be like, damn, this guy's been doing this forever. Like, look at the consistency he put in here.
And honestly, I would have probably never looked at Luis to do work for me if I didn't see that consistency. If I just kind of saw that he had some videos and, you know, some of them had 100 views, but he posted once every 3 months, that doesn't interest me compared to seeing somebody post every single day and, you know, actually giving a result. And so that consistently gives results at the end of the day. It might be tomorrow, it might be in a week, it might be in a month, it might be in a year, it might be in 10 years, but it will eventually pay off.
Yeah, it will happen.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to get into a little bit of monetization now.
Yeah. Now
since
that we're
like-
talking about it, we could get it. And the reason I want to talk about monetization is because when people think about social media, they instantly think about money. And I feel like that's the wrong approach. Yeah, you can make money through social media, but I had 100,000 followers, and I didn't make the money that I wanted to. And now that I with my new mindset, if I had the 100,000 followers and that going on, I would have monetized my product, my page, which basically means once you get into social media and you get a couple hundred followers or 1,000, you have to start thinking of stuff to sell. Programs. If you're a fitness, sell fitness programs, $5, $10, T-shirts. Literally sell something, bro. Because the day that you blow up, and people see that, bro. If the day that I blew up with that video for my fitness page that got 5 million views, it was me flexing next to a girl, and the girl it was all made up. That under that video, everyone was saying, "Where's the fitness plan? I need the plan. Where's the link? Where's the fitness?" I could have easily made over $100,000 from that video.
Yeah.
But because I didn't have a product, I could have had a $5 to $10 product on there. Just imagine 30,000 people buying it out of 5 million.
But your mindset has changed completely too.
Yeah.
You weren't thinking about that. You were kind of thinking about more. You're probably thinking more about the followers and the likes compared to actually
and
get
bro,
monetizing from
and
it, taking advantage of the
that's how a lot of
situation.
people approach the social media. They're like, "Oh, followers is gonna equal to money." No, there's people with millions of followers and making nothing. You gotta monetize your page, and then that's how you make money. You gotta become your own boss. It's either that or you start working with other companies, which is something I never did.
Yeah.
I never worked.
Collaborating. And
I
everything like
dodged
that.
a lot of that. I don't know why. I kind of wanted just to throw me. I didn't want to be like, I don't know. I never collaborated. I didn't want to do that.
But now that you're a little bit more mature and everything
Yeah.
like that, you definitely like, damn, I should have taken advantage of that.
No, I still wouldn't
Yeah.
have collaborated.
No,
but I
I'm
would have
talking
done the
about, like,
monetization.
fitness programs and stuff
No,
like
no,
that.
for
And
sure.
so
Yeah.
That would have been great, you
Yeah.
know. And from the restaurant aspect, monetization is, your product, so your food, or your food or your drinks. What makes it different? You know, everybody has the same products that you have. Is how do you make it different? So in the restaurant industry, we'll here specific in the restaurant, we'll do a nice presentation of something. So per se, one of our most popular items is the fajita. The fajita comes out on a hot tray, a sizzling hot tray. So when you put the fajita on top of the tray, as you bring it to the table, you hear.
Yeah.
And so everybody wants that. Everybody, turns around and is like, what is that noise? What is that noise? And they see the sizzling hot fajita. And so, that tracks, that gets everybody's attention. And also our tomahawk, we flame our tomahawk. So we put a mezcal on top and then we light it on fire in front of our guest. and people are like, "Oh crap, what is that? I want to see. I want to order that." And so, I mean, every single thing that I have here inside all of my produce, the place in front of me could have the same exact produce.
Yeah.
But how do I present it to really get people's attention and make
Exactly.
them spend $85, $100 on a plate when they could go to the grocery store and buy that for $20.
Exactly. They buy experience, not just the food.
Exactly.
But dude, it's funny that you mentioned the fajita being like a wow factor because I didn't think fajitas was a wow factor. But now that I think about it, when I first started coming to Mexican restaurants and I would hear that, literally what you just described, that was me. I was like, yo, what is that?
Yeah.
I want that.
Yeah, exactly. And so, I mean, exactly. And, that's something, I think that's great about the Mexican culture
Yeah.
specifically, because the Mexican culture is all about being crazy.
That's awesome. I love it.
It's all crowd, specifically our culture in the companies, dry ice, smoke, fire, all these components that kind of bring like a wow experience inside the restaurant. So we have something in the company called the wow moments. So people that come into training and orientation at the restaurant, I'll teach them about the wow moments, how to really impress everybody.
Yeah.
And that kind of comes into the branding and the culture, but that I monetize from that. I make money from that, and I could charge.
The food is.
I could charge 50% more on a plate than what it costs because of those wow moments.
Exactly.
And so you have to see how you can truly make profit off of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we covered monetization and branding.
How many minutes are we in?
We're probably like at 40 minutes right now.
Okay. I mean, let me touch on this last point when it comes to monetization.
You got 8 minutes.
Inside the restaurant, yeah. This last point that I want to get to is that if you're going to monetize from a restaurant, if you're going to sell a product, be consistent with it. A product that you're not consistent with is not going to be something that sells. You need to have something that really, truly is consistent. It's like you can have this 5 million times, and it will taste exactly the same and be exactly the same. When it comes to drinks, when it comes to food, per se, a drink, you're going to use a jigger to measure, how much lime is coming into it, how much agave is going into it, how much tequila is going to go into it, and you're going to shake it a specific amount of time to make sure it comes out the same every single time. Because, look, McDonald's is consistent with their flavors, So you'll have chicken nuggets at McDonald's, and you could go to any single McDonald's and it will taste exactly the same. And it might not taste good, but it tastes exactly the same every single. And so that's why so many people go back to McDonald's, because it's so consistent.
It's super consistent.
In the restaurant, you have to do the same exact thing. It has to be consistent from, the service, from the food to the drinks to everything, from cleanliness, how clean you have your restaurant. And so, you can't really monetize if you don't do that. If you're not consistent with what you do.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Since you threw that little golden nugget in there, I'll throw one as well.
Yeah.
Build your social media platforms and think about a product that you will potentially be selling in the future. Don't throw it immediately. Just be ready for that moment that you blow up. That's all I'm going to say.
Yes, sir.
With that being said, guys, thank you for watching episode number 7. I hope to see you guys on the next one.
Check our links out down in the below in the description.
Links are in the description for our Instagrams. Keep in touch over there.
Yeah.
I hope everyone's staying focused. Stay focused, right?
Stay focused.
Peace.
Peace.